everyone. Today is day 2 of our read aloud of the book Shelter by Celine Claire. We're going to read this book again today and we're going to talk about some different things with it. But first, we're going to review what we read about on day 1 and what you remember from day 1. So when the animals found out that the blizzard was coming, what did they all start to do? They all started preparing. They started gathering wood and gathering food so that they could stay inside their home, inside their shelter, and not leave for a while until the storm passes. And what do you remember about the two strangers, Big Brother and Little Brother? What did they ask for when they went around to all of the animal families? What were they asking them for? They asked them for food, and they asked them if they could come inside their shelter and sit by their fire and be warm and be safe inside their shelter and not be outside where the storm is. And as we read today, I want you to think about, why did the two strangers, Big Brother and Little Brother, why did they not have a place to stay? Where was their home? So let's read and listen to the details. Shelter, Celine Claire. It's morning, and as the day stirs, the animals do too. Some slowly, some gently, while others go leaping out of bed. Over breakfast, everyone catches up on the latest news. A storm is coming. Now remember, this storm is a blizzard, so there's going to be lots of snow and lots of wind. There's no time for panic. Together the animals all set to work, gathering wood, squirreling away food, and quieting their fears. They must be prepared. At last, everything is ready, and everyone braces for the storm. The winds begin to pick up. But all is well. The animals are safe and sound in their homes. What if others are still outside? Little Fox asks. In the distance, two figures emerge from the fog, the wind howling around them. Everyone watches them from their windows and wonders, who are these strangers? What are they doing here? What do they want? Soon they come knocking. The wind is cold. In exchange for some tea, could we warm ourselves by your fire? Our fire is out. Try next door. But they have a fire. Our bellies are empty. In exchange for some tea, could we have a few cookies for dipping? We have no food. Try next door. But they do have food. They have lots of food. The night is dark. In exchange for some tea, could we take comfort in the light of your hearth? Our den is small and crowded. Try next door. Oh no, Big Brother and Little Brother, they have a problem now. What is the problem that they're facing? They don't have shelter and they don't have food and no one's helping them. What will they do? But next door, there's only a hill. That's all right, says Big Brother. Maybe the hill will be more welcoming. So where are they going? They're going to the hill to see if they can find shelter. As the bears set off, leaning on each other and into the wind, a voice rings out from behind them. Wait, calls Little Fox. He has found something to share. You can't eat it, and it's not as warm or nearly as bright as a fire. But it's still generous, Big Brother says kindly. Thank you. So what word describes Little Fox? He's sharing his lantern with Big Brother and Little Brother. So what word describes Little Fox? He's being generous because he's sharing and being kind. On the hill, the night grows colder, so cold that the wind turns white. Big Brother holds out his hand. Little Brother sticks out his tongue. So remember, this is a blizzard, so there's lots of snow, so they're catching the snow. Soon the ground is blanketed in soft white snow, so the ground's covered in snow. Big Brother and Little Brother look at each other and smile. They will be just fine. But there's danger in the fox den. The snowfall is so heavy that it becomes more threatening than the wind. The roof folds and twists, ready to give way. Quickly, everyone out, shouts Father Fox. So there's another problem. The fox's den is collapsing. It's falling in because the snow is so heavy. What will they do now? It's so cold, says Mother Fox. It's so dark, says Father Fox. Look, says Little Fox, I see a light. I wonder what the light is. As the foxes approach, the scent of ginger and cinnamon fills the air. Closing their eyes and taking deep breaths, they follow their noses. Finally, they reach the curious light. The snow is still falling. The wind is still blowing. Little Fox steps forward and shouts, "The wind is cold and the night is dark. In exchange for some cookies, would you share your shelter with us?" "The lantern light is weakening. Our den is small and crowded, and we have nothing to eat," says Big Brother. "But our tea will warm you better than any fire, and with your cookies for dipping, it will be delicious. Come in, come in." And that is how two strangers came to share their humble shelter on a stormy winter's night when the moon could not be seen. So, why do you think that the animal families would not help Big Brother and Little Brother when they were needing shelter? Because they were strangers, and the animal families, they didn't know who Big Brother and Little Brother were, and they wanted to keep the room in their house, and they wanted to keep the food and the warmth from the fire. They wanted to keep that to themselves. And how do you think this made Big Brother and Little Brother feel? How do you think it made them feel when the animals would not help them? It probably made them sad, and they might have been a little scared because they didn't have a place to go to get out of the storm. And do you think when Big Brother and Little Brother were out searching for a shelter, do you think it helped that they were together and they weren't by themselves? That they were a team of two? There was Big Brother and Little Brother, and since they weren't by themselves, do you think that helped them maybe not be as scared? I think it probably helped them, because if they were out there on their own, they probably would have been much more scared, because since they were together, they could lean on each other, and they knew they'd be okay because they had each other at the end of the day. And do you think when the foxes, when their home collapsed because the snow was so heavy on top, do you think when they went and they found Big Brother and Little Brother's shelter, do you think that Big Brother and Little Brother had to let them come inside? They didn't have to let them come inside, but they were being generous, and they were being kind, and they were sharing. And so they let them come inside and have shelter out of the storm. So that was day 2 of our Read Aloud. I hope you enjoyed it, and come back for day 3.